Hey, look at that. We're live. What's up, everyone? Aaron Nagler here. Cheesehead TV coming to you live on Wednesday afternoon after a day that saw a bevy of Packers news fly across our computer screens from Kamal Martin. Literally the news breaking as I was getting done this morning with the Packers Daily Chat. Billy Turner probably won't be available week one. Martin is out for 6 to 8 weeks. Family Night has been canceled and replaced with 2 programs by the Packers Digital Media Group. And a lot of people pining for Mohamed Sanu, who has just been cut. And let me start with Sanu. No. Come on, people. I didn't spend all last year railing on about why they were fine with the wide receivers they had. To watch those wide receivers help get them to the precipice of a Super Bowl, come into a summer where the one guy they did bring in opted out, yet they have looked very strong all camp long, including MVS, who seems to finally be putting it together. I thought I taught you better than this. No. Mohamed Sanu went to New England, who were desperate for wide receiver help and looked old and done and barely helped them. And now, after a offseason where everybody's been on Zoom and now they've hit the field running for 2 plus maybe 3 weeks, Sanu has been cut from that program, is going to come into Green Bay and help them when and how? Is he going to play special teams? Probably not. Is he going to block in the run game? Maybe. Could throw a mean deep ball if we want to take the ball out of Aaron Rodgers' hands. No to Mohamed Sanu. No, people. No. All right. What's up? Where's the new dog? Oh, and that's the other thing. My girls are really putting the full court press on about the dog. All right, hold on. Make sure I didn't miss it. Any super chats, which I did. David, thanks for the super chat. You know what would be an amazing Christmas present? If you got your daughters a dog. It's amazing. I swear to God, these are just my daughter's burner accounts. David, I will take it under advisement. Thank you. What else? I know I had one more. David, there you go. What's up, David? How do you think Minnesota will attack our D? San Francisco game plan? No, I don't think it'll be very San Francisco-esque at all. As Mike Pettin said this offseason, obviously a lot gets made about what happened in the NFC Championship game, but it's not like every team has the play caller and the horses to do what San Francisco did. They can certainly take some concepts and try to apply them to whatever offense they run, but it's not like there's a blueprint that you can just plug in and go. I do think we'll see some closed formation stuff where they probably try to run Thielen or maybe one of the running backs on some of the sprint option kind of thing. You saw that from San Francisco quite a bit. I think they will try to get outside with Dalvin Cook. They had real success at times with that last year. But for the most part, I think they're going to run their offense. Now, they have a different offensive coordinator, so I do not doubt that they have looked at everything that worked against the Packers last year, not just what San Francisco did. But I don't think it'll be as specific because, look, Kyle Shanahan is one of the best game planners and play callers in the league today. And he's been doing it for a long time, and he came up with a perfect plan. Not everybody's going to be able to replicate that. Plus, not to mention, the Packers have spent all offseason as well coming up with ways to counter what San Francisco did. So I don't think it'll be that specific. Chris, thanks for the super chat. Do you see Kiki playing 5 tech on early downs? Yeah, I mean, I think that's how he's going to earn his right to rush the passer. I actually literally just asked Jerry Montgomery about him a little bit ago. And Jerry mentioned how he loves it when he's a stickler for the details and less happy with him when he tries to play, what did he call it, street ball or something along those lines. So sounds like he's still, struggling with a little bit of consistency there. The way to earn coach's trust is to win on early downs and to, again, earn the right to rush the passer. And from what I've seen early on, Kiki has looked good. But of course, I'm on the sideline. I only see when he makes a splash play. I don't see down in and down out and get to grind the tape like Jerry does. So I think it's promising. And I think, yeah, he'll get opportunities on early downs, but he's got to make the most of those. No doubt about it. Saul, thank you for the super chat. The inside linebacker position doesn't look good right now with the injuries. I mean, well, Burks was back today. I saw a lot of people saying they're out, both Martin and Burks, which is not true. Burks returned to practice today. And Martin going down is obviously a blow. You can't spin it any other way. He was having a fantastic camp, really excited about him. Now we've got to wait. Probably I would be shocked if he was anything other than IR, and then they brought him back after 8 weeks. or maybe even longer. But yeah, I mean, ultimately, it's not like it's a defense that doesn't have a ton of experience playing with only one inside linebacker. They've done it for a very long time. And if Kirksey's that guy, away they go. Now, obviously, we all know about Kirksey's injury history. It's no mystery that they're crossing their fingers a little bit there, that he stays upright throughout 2020. But aren't we kind of doing that with everybody in all our lives at this point? Seriously, though, I think Kirksey more than solves whatever issues they might have at inside backer. He's just got to stay on the field. Now, if he gets hurt or if there's another rash of injuries, say to Burks, etc., and don't put it past throwing out Ty Summers there in some of the two-backer sets. I think he's had a good camp. I wouldn't say a fantastic camp, but I think he's had a good camp. He looks to have improved a little bit. Obviously, you can't really judge anything until things are live, but I think they're okay. It's certainly not ideal, but they should be okay at backer for now. What else we got? Daniel, thank you for the super chat. Who do you think will start alongside Kirksey, now that Kamal Martin is out for 6 weeks? Honestly, I think it'll be a combination of a safety and a corner, much like they've done throughout Mike Pettine's time in Green Bay. I think you'll see a lot of that 3 safety look, assuming, of course, Raven Green is back. We don't know what his injury is at this point, but I can only guess that it's precautionary at this point. Now, that said, if Raven's out and Kamal's out, then it starts getting a little trickier. I still tend to think, though, they'll lean into that dime personnel that they loved so much last year. I don't think there'll be any rash moves made. Andrew, thank you. Thanks to the super chat. Is IR expanded this year? I can't recall off the top of my head if there have been any significant alterations. I think there was some minutia that was changed as far as, but there wasn't any sweeping additions to the IR, like being able to bring guys off of IR earlier, which I know had been discussed heading into kind of COVID negotiations. I do think, if I remember right, they can bring back 2 people now. I can't remember if that was passed or if it was discussed. I'll have to take another look at that today, and I will get you an answer tomorrow morning. Nicholas, thanks to the super chat. Is Turner's contract the reason Balaga had to go? No, I don't think so, Nicholas. I think it's a big puzzle, and wanting to sign Kenny Clark, David Bakhtiari, Aaron Jones, and possibly Kevin King is much more of a reason that Balaga had to go than Turner. Does Valdir get a call? Steven, I would have called him yesterday, but I'm not Brian Gutekunst. It's a real mystery why they chose to go down the Wagner path instead of Valdir this offseason. Obviously, they're never going to say what their thinking was truly. I've maintained that I think it's got to be Valdir asking for more than they were willing to part with, based on the fact that we did hear a report out of the combine saying that Valdir was speaking with multiple teams. And then after that, you never heard the Packers and Valdir being linked. Now we have Valdir liking pretty much every tweet that suggests that he, go to Green Bay, get a call from Green Bay, etc. So I think the interest is very real on Jared's part. I don't know with the Packers. He obviously came in and saved their bacon last year on a couple of occasions. Seems to make a world of sense to me. It's got to be something else behind the scenes that we're not privy to, because otherwise it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. I know they are good players, but giving top 10 money to Rodgers, Clark, etc., doesn't that hurt the team to have an overall Super Bowl team? Don't know if that's true, but heard top 5 paid quarterback never won a Super Bowl. Yeah, but okay, that is something that the stat nerds have thrown around quite liberally. Well, then I guess Kansas City's never going to win a Super Bowl because they just gave $1 billion to Patrick Mahomes. Do you think that's true? Do you buy that? Because I don't. It's like theoretical physics can prove that an elephant can hang from a cliff with his tail tied to a daisy. You going to put stock in that? So yes, it is true that I believe the threshold is someone taking up a certain percentage of a cap has never, like if you give a quarterback over a certain percentage of your cap, I think it's 13%. Those have never won a Super Bowl, but it's so hilarious that who made that the designation? 13%, as opposed to what, 11.5%? Man, just keep your good players. That's all I care about. That is all I care about. And the Packers have been doing that. and I'm happy about it. Who makes the first pick for the defense in 2020? Christian Kirksey. William Thompson, thank you for the super chat. What beer do you drink when enjoying the horse collar bratwurst at Lambeau? Woo! They still do the horse collar? I thought they discontinued it. Maybe not. I don't know. Usually a Wisco Disco if I'm near one of the spots that has it. With Turner and Wagner dinged up, I feel Valdir will be signed soon. Well, I mean, people keep talking about Wagner being dinged up, and yeah, but it's football. Everybody's dinged up at some point. He's been back at practice since August 28th. It's now September 2nd. You know, it's like he's going to practice these next couple days, and sure, they may determine that they got to give Valdir a call, but let's let Wagner work through whatever he's working through. You know, seems like a left arm injury from what I saw, but you know, I think people are so quick to, they got to call this guy or they got to make a move. Like, all right, let's just let it play out and see what happens. And maybe the Packers give that call. And like I said, I'd be for it. But I don't think it's necessarily, okay, guys are dinged up, we got to make a move. You know, breathe a little bit. Bring Clay back on a cheap 1-year deal. Jim, what year is it? Have I gone back in time? Dude, Clay Matthews hated playing inside backer when he was actually young, spry, and good at playing inside backer. He just wants to rush the quarterback off the edge, man. He doesn't want to be in there taking on guards and centers. And not to mention, does anyone remember like the interview that Clay had where he, I won't say took a shot at Brian, but really kind of acted hurt about the way he was released and mentioned Brian specifically? I don't think that's a call Brian's going to be like, anxious to make. Jamal Williams for right tackle. Why not? Hey, he can block. No doubt about it. So new signing. No. Go listen to the start of the video. No. What else we got here? Hey, Aaron. First time ever trying this chat. Well, Trey, here we go. Let's see how it goes, shall we? I obviously agree with you on a lot of takes, and people don't ask reporters enough. What do these old Packer replay games mean to you? I watched an old Lions playoff game, and it's just electric in a room full of guys being dudes. Give some thoughts, man. Well, that's a interesting question. That's all I do all offseason is watch old Packers games. The older, the better. Hell, I was watching the 1939 championship a little while ago. Man, I tell you what, there is nothing better than watching a game that you know the Packers are going to win stress-free and just enjoying it. There's no doubt about that. It's less fun watching the games that you know they're going to lose, but you can learn stuff from it, especially if it's a recent game and you're looking at guys and trying to think, how can you get better, etc. But yeah, there are a few things I enjoy more than cracking open a cold one, watching a Packers game, whatever Packers game. No doubt about it. Bring Nick Barnett back. Oh, now the AJ Hawk. Oh, yeah, here we go. I see where we are now, guys. I see what's up. Can't wait to see what Gary can do this year. David, you should be very, very excited about Rashawn Gary. That boy is ready to play. That guy is he's gonna hurt somebody, man. I'm telling you, his quickness, his power, his ability, his agility. Look out. That kid's gonna have a season. Can you explain to a casual football watcher how our defense can be so good in most regards and have a large hole in the run defense? Well, I mean, it's not easily explained, but I can think the most easy way to put it is because passing has become so quote unquote easy because of the rules, because of what offenses are allowed to do and what defenses are not allowed to do, that teams like to throw it a lot. And because of that, the Packers, and specifically Mike Pettin, have designed his defense specifically to take away the threat of the pass and use a lot of what's called dime personnel, which is a lot of defensive backs who are obviously smaller and takes a lineman off the field, etc., to defend the pass. Now, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, sometimes there are breakdowns, what have you, but that does make you a little bit lighter up front. And as sound as you can still be, as Mike Pettin will tell you, if you play your technique, sometimes you can run into teams that are physical and can run the football on that kind of front. And the Packers are content somewhat to allow you to run it at a 4 or 5 yard clip at a time, assuming that eventually you're going to make a mistake and or get into the red zone where they really clamp down. And the numbers bear that out last year. They were absolutely fantastic once teams got into the red zone. Problem, of course, being they got into the red zone way too much. So, and I don't think we'll see a huge switch in that regard. They won a lot of ball games this way, and I think they're going to continue to do so. If MVS and EQ are even just above average, then we are set strongly at wide receiver. I think that's fair, Robin. I think MVS is having a really good summer. Rodgers called him out unprompted again today in a good way, mentioned him as far as the summer he's had, the camp he's had. He looks really good. Now, we've seen guys look really good before in camp and then fizzle when the regular season begins. So it's completely understandable if people are reticent, not ready to quite hop on board yet. But I will say I echo Aaron's thoughts in the sense that he looks different. The little things, digging in for those deep comebacks, or the not gathering himself out of a cut and cutting across the middle of the field, losing a guy just enough to sit down in the zone and deliver get a ball that's delivered to him in rhythm. It's the little things that we've seen day in and day out this year that we're certainly not present last season. So I get it. I get people for the most part wanting to bring in somebody, etc. But yeah, I think they're going to be fine. Earl Thomas? No. You'd have to pay him. Who do you take off the field? I say no, but okay, fine. If he agreed to a 1 year below market deal, then yes. Sure. But I don't think he's going to do that. Do I think Hester makes the cut? I mean, it really depends on the injury. I don't know. He's been out, and we don't have any idea. We don't have any idea what the injury is, what he's dealing with. So there's a good chance, not a good chance, but there is a chance that, yeah, he doesn't make it. Or he goes on IR. He can't go on PUP because he's practiced. So we'll see there. And that's definitely a concern / something to watch. Did I miss a super chat? I think I may have. Sorry, guys. I have so many comments. It's crazy. Especially now that I'm doing all three social channels. I get a ton, so I'm sorry. Let me just make sure I've got all your super chats here. I think I do. Okay, John, what's up? We're 2 beers away from someone suggesting we bring back Nitschke. Oh, hey, salute to that. Stuart, that's an interesting question. Why do a lot of pro analysts talk Aaron Jones up, but then right away say A.J. Dillon is the future and Jones will likely be playing somewhere else just because Packers used a second on Dillon? Let's see him play an NFL season first. Sign Aaron Jones and have a 2-headed monster. Stuart, you read my mind, man. I know a lot of people think or have anointed Dillon the feature back of the future because of where he was drafted, etc. And I do think they do intend to use him a lot eventually. But right now, they're in a great spot with Jones, Williams, and Dillon. And I'm with you. I think they will pay Aaron Jones, and they'll keep him around. I don't know at what price point. I know it's getting higher and higher here. But I think Dillon is much more about the fact that they had 2 guys in Jones and Williams who they know are both going into the last years of their deals. They know they got to bid at least one of them goodbye, maybe both of them. And now they're going to give Dillon a year to learn and develop. And then next year, regardless of what happens with either one of their contracts, he'll be ready to hit the ground running. This is the way Ted used to do it all the time. You could get a good sense of who might get drafted by looking at whose contract was up the following year. He did that a number of times. And I think that's what Dillon's about. It's not only about his talent and wanting to get him on the field, which they obviously do, but it's also guarding against and giving them leverage with any kind of contracts talks they have with Jones and Williams. Due to all the injuries, can Tim Williams actually play inside linebacker if he had to? I can't say I've seen him try, but maybe. I would tend to doubt it. But hey, in this era of COVID and cross-training and guys having to step in and do lots of different things, maybe. I would tend to doubt it, though, given his physical makeup and his body type, etc. But you never know. Would I sign Jones for $11 million per? That's right there. That's right there. That's so hard to say. I mean, and then you get into, well, what are the cap hits? Because you can make it whatever as far as what the total amount of the deal is. And then you look at, oh, it's 10 million per, it's 11 million per. But then you look at the minutia of the contract, and it's, oh, his cap hit is only 4 or 5 the first year. And then maybe it jumps up to 8 or 9 and then goes up to 17 or something like that. I mean, if they could do that, if they could structure it in a way kind of like they did with Kenny Clark's deal, where they keep the immediate cap hits really manageable, yeah, sure. Why not? The cap hit's all I care about. I don't care about he's getting per, really. It's all about how does he fit into that puzzle that is the cap. Packer Nation United, what's up? Oh, wow. Oh, what a question. Antonio Freeman or Greg Jennings? I'll tell you what. Greg Jennings was I don't know, say much, but he's definitely a more talented wide receiver, completely unbiased, objectively looking at their games. But give me Antonio Freeman every fucking time. True all-time Packer. Unlike Mr. Jennings, who will be calling the game week 1. Count our blessings. Ice cream or custard? Custard if it's from Culver's. Joey, yes, we need to hear Aunt Gert. Oh, we'll get some Aunt Gert. Don't you worry. I don't know if it'll be for the first episode of Packer Transplants, but she will make an appearance. We've done it every year. We can't stop now. All right, guys, I got to get going. I can't thank you guys enough for hanging out, talking some Packers with me. Please hit like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and if you're so inclined, please consider giving us $5 a month on our Patreon page, patreon.com/cheeseheadtv. It helps support everything we do, including our 5-hour game day live streams every week this year. That's right. We'll be live for 5 hours every single game. Hour pregame, 3-hour watch party, hour postgame. All 16 games. It's going to be a lot of fun, but it doesn't happen without your support. So please, if you can, do so. If not, no worries. Just hit like, hit subscribe, tell your friends, tell your family. Cheesehead TV. We are devoted to Green Bay Packers fans worldwide. Thanks a lot, everybody. Have a great night. Go Packers.